We are here at the Gfinity Arena in London for the championship finale, the final weekend of the Play Like a Legend series. Spencer, Chris. Brian's through. He seems quite calm. He's going to watch a few games, get some food, cast on the French stream, but keep an eye on the competition. And we move forward with the next game. It's very cagey. You can see that lack of practice there, can't you?
Yeah, I mean, it surprised me when he said that, to be honest. But the fact of the matter is, he's kind of, he's not conceded a goal. Yeah. He's kind of rode out the games as long as he needed to waited for his opportunity late in the game. If you're going to play that kind of sort of slow build-up, take your chance gameplay, he's scoring at the perfect time because he scores and gives his opponent 10 minutes.
I suppose if that's your style, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, normally I wouldn't say that has been his style, but it seems to be what he's going for this time around.
Okay, fair enough. Let's take a look at the bracket and see where things currently stand. Okay, that should be on the screens now. So, obviously, Brian is out now, walks through into the Sunday. He'll be quite comfortable. And then we've got Tass and Guigsey. We'll now fight it out to see who goes through and who goes home. Boys, which way do you see this one going? This is quite tight now.
It is a tight one, and you know, we've got Guigsey who's won against Epsilon Nantox 3-1, whereas Tass beat him 3-0. So there's not a lot of difference in the result there. We talked about it before, didn't we, Chris? Tass is just struggling to score goals. Against Nantox he got a few, but against Guigsey I can't see him getting 3. So if he does win, it will be a small 2-1 win or something like that. But I think he might have enough to beat Guigsey.
I think he has the ability to beat Guigsey. It's whether he thinks he has the ability or not. I think Guigsey is a great FIFA player. He is fairly new to the big scene, and I think that he's got an opportunity to really upset Tass. I don't know if they've particularly played before, so I don't really know what their head-to-head is like, but I think Guigsey's probably got a lot of things up his sleeve, whereas Tass has been around for a while. Everyone kind of knows how Tass plays and what he's capable of, and I think it's up to Tass to bring something a bit different. I said before in the last game that he really needs to kind of assert his dominance in the start of this game and really go with something a little bit different just to try and get himself those goals, which he's clearly lacking. Obviously, if he goes behind, he's struggling. But if he's ahead, he looks very comfortable. So I want to see him assert a bit of dominance in this game, get a couple of goals in his favour, and then he can start to chill out and relax a little bit more.
Definitely.
You can see, I think you can see in the booths as well. You can see the guys are kind of relaxed. Tass is doing his normal slouch, sit down, hand on my fist, sort of look like I'm half asleep.
Too cool for school.
Too cool for school. Yeah, exactly. But I'm sure when the time comes, it will liven up. But then Guigsey, like you say, we don't really know that much about, but clearly has the ability, deserves to be here. He's in very, very, very good company.
Yep.
Will no doubt sort of give a good account of himself. So I think we're just waiting for those guys to get ready. But from anything you've seen so far, do you still think Spencer's the clear favourite for the whole tournament?
I do and I don't. I mean, I'll still back him.
Yeah.
I'll still back him for sure. I think we need to see Group C and Group D before we can make a real assumption on it. I think August Rosemeyer is the big name on everyone's lips because we haven't seen him play Ultimate Team before.
Yeah.
So if he can take to Ultimate Team like he does the head-to-head, then he is the one to beat.
Yeah.
But Spencer just scores more goals than the people he's playing. It's as simple as that. He's not tight at the back. He doesn't pretend to be a good defender. He just scores lots of goals.
He was quite open about that when I interviewed him. He said, "Yeah, it's just I'll just go out and score as many goals as I can. I should concentrate on defending. I don't really." Yeah. And that's just the way it's going to be. Very sort of Kevin Keegan. For those of you who are old enough who remember Newcastle of the '90s, very cavalier Kevin Keegan approach, which was effectively, as long as we win, I don't care if we win 6-5. And it's that sort of attitude. Fans love that anyway. Plenty of goals. It's nice and entertaining.
Yep.
So we'll see a good game. Chris, you think we're going to see a good game now or quite a tight affair?
I think it's going to be a tight affair. I think only going to be a couple of goals over the 2 legs. I think there will actually be some goals in this game, but I don't think it's going to be too many. I think it'll be a tight one. I'm actually going to go with Guigsey in this one.
Are you? Why is that?
I just think Tass's confidence might have taken a bit of a knock. He looks all calm and collected in there and having a good time, but underneath, I don't think it's the same. We saw that in the last game, and clearly his play was quite upset during that. Like, he was upsetted by Brian in that one. Brian, although out of practice, his defence is solid. Like, absolutely rock solid. Really only had the 1 or 2 moments of a lapse of judgment, and overall he's looking really good. Like, he might not be scoring everything, which I think is probably down to the lack of practice. He's probably not got the flow for how to play the game a little bit right now, but that will come further on in the tournament. And I think that right now maybe Tass is staring at an early exit.
So in order for Tass to go against your prediction, What does he got to do? Has he got to come out the gate hard and fast and get some early goals?
He's got to come out
put
hard.
The pressure back on Guigsey then.
He's got to come out hard, got to come out fierce, try something a little bit new because
is that his style though?
I don't think it is, and that's why I don't think he's going to be able to win this one. I don't think he can actually adapt to it. It's up to him to prove me wrong, but right now, it's the same Tass play I've seen throughout all 3 previous seasons, and we all know how that's worked out for him so far. So it's up to him to really come and show something a little bit different, show he's got in his arsenal the ability to come and win this, because it's not quite the Tass that I've been used to seeing over the years.
We've been talking about how people sort of migrate and sort of transition over from being very, very successful competitive players with head-to-head to Ultimate Team. You're talking about Aga Rosenmeyer, who we'll see a bit later. How hard is that? I mean, a lot of people think, a lot of people that maybe don't know the game that well will think, well, if you're good at FIFA, you're good at FIFA.
Yeah.
Surely, clearly there are two different play styles. How difficult is it to actually migrate over from one game mode to the other and maintain that level of success? I suppose it's pretty difficult because Brian aside, who was obviously a successful head-to-head player, we're not seeing too many examples of that happening.
Well, I mean, I think first and foremost, a competitive Ultimate Team is new.
Yeah.
So we don't know who the best players are for that Ultimate Team. There's people out there that have maybe only ever played Ultimate Team.
Yeah.
Because it's been around for a fair few years now, and if you're one of the younger players of the game, you might never have gone over to head-to-head, which is traditionally what people have been playing, the last decade or so. It's not quite as different as playing two different games completely, like 2 different football games or what have you, 2 different shooting games. But it is different within FIFA.
Yeah.
Head-to-head is definitely slower, definitely harder to score. Ultimate Team is kind of like... I'm trying to think of the best word to destroy. It's like it's a great way of putting it. It's like an arcade version of FIFA. It's made for goals, long ranges. In head-to-head, great example is head-to-head. You're very unlikely to see a lot of long ranges because it's seen as inefficient. People don't want to lose the ball. Keeping possession is key. In Ultimate Team, they can be really effective because the probability of a long range going in is so much higher that it can actually be an efficient way of playing. So those little things, the reason it's hard to move across the different mediums is that to be at the best of FIFA, you've got to play it all the time.
Yeah.
And if you're splitting that time across 2 different game modes, you're not as good as you could be on one.
Yeah.
So you're either going to commit to head-to-head or you're going to commit to Ultimate Team. The future seems like Ultimate Team is the way to go. That's the most popular game mode. And the people that have kind of really took that under their wing and the people that we're seeing excel right now, like Huge Gorilla, who ironically is in Team Excel. That's a segue. You can have that for free.
You're just giving it away for free, aren't you, mate? You're an absolute... It's just so nice to you all. How no wonder you love him. So look, the social media stuff's below. It should be on your screen now. So make sure you are following us and tweeting those and putting stuff on Facebook and subscribing to YouTube, etc., etc. Make sure you're doing that and promoting that for you. And don't forget, there is a absolutely cracking giveaway that's been put up by our very kind partners over at Green Man Gaming. 25% off of any pre-order for FIFA 16, provided you do it before midnight on Sunday. And that is the cheapest you'll find it anywhere in the world. Right, it's game time. It's Spencer, it's Chris, and this will be Tass and Guigsey. I don't know what's going to happen, but you're going to tell us. Go for it, lads.
Let's do it. Chris, this is basically a knockout game, isn't it? Whoever loses is leaving us in the tournament. Whoever wins is through to the next round. It's as simple as that. But let's not forget, as much as winning is good and great, whoever does win is going to be playing Huge Gorilla. So
that's not a good thing to be thinking about. They have shot themselves in the foot a little bit here. They're coming up against arguably the tournament favourite right now, scoring goals for fun, leaking goals, so he's not invincible. He's not like... He has got an Achilles heel that you could easily exploit.
Yep.
Just be able to get in behind his defence and put goals in and stop him from scoring. But right now, he's looking too good. He is on that score more than your opponent approach, and it's working for him.
And we are underway here in the first leg of this final Group B matchup between Tass and Guigsey. Tass in the red, Guigsey in the Celtic white and green kit. Okay, so what's going to happen here? Who is going to go through to place Huge Gorilla? The question is, and this is something I would say to you, regardless who wins this game, I don't think Guigsey will beat Huge Gorilla, but I think Tass could.
I think they
Tass implements his game plan.
Before.
Yeah?
I think they have played each other before. And,
but they're in the same team, I think.
Yeah, it's usually Spencer that will walk out the victor on that occasion. I want to see how Tass approaches this game. He's approached the last 2 games in his style. He won one against Anfox, maybe not quite up to the same caliber as Tass and some of the other players, but against Brian, who is obviously definitely up there with one of the best in Europe at the moment. He didn't quite fare up and didn't match up. It was a close game, admittedly, and you could say that on a better day, Brian might have walked it had he been in better practice. But right now, it looks like Tass just struggles against some of the players who are a lot more capable in defense. So we'll have to see what he's got coming into this game. Is he going to play a bit more aggressive? Because he really needs to make sure he does get a couple goals. Goes for a chip over the defense. Isn't going to happen, though. Onua is going to pick that one up and move it out. So let's see how Guigsey answers back to Tass's approach to this game. Now, I expect Guigsey to be a bit more aggressive than the previous opponent Tass had, which is Brian. So we have to see if Tass keeps him at bay and keeps him under control. And right now, he's doing a good job of just keeping the game in his control.
Let us know in the Twitch chat who you're supporting. Are you Team Tass or are you Team Guigsey? It's England versus Scotland. It's a battle for the border. Ramirez on the ball. It's not been done in a while, that battle for the border. I wouldn't mind to see one of them again. A bit old-fashioned, but Braveheart. Here we go. Bale on the ball for Tass. He goes out wide to Kyle Walker. Kyle Walker back into Bale, back to Walker. Have we seen another right-back in this tournament yet? I don't think we have we?
No, Walker, very popular choice. He does what you want. He does exactly the job you need him for. So I don't think there's many other choices you could really want to pick over him. And right now, at least for FIFA 15, Ultimate Team has been very BPL-centric. Like BPL, in terms of the player pool you've got, is becoming so diverse and one of the best possible. And there's a chance it does go wide. Tass with some great passing execution. Unfortunately for him, just not able to sink himself a goal. And that could come back to bite him later on in the game.
Definitely. Here's Guigsey on the ball. Mangala, Van Aanholt, inside to Ramirez. Ramirez inside to Torre Yaya, or Yaya Torre. Balassi, that's mopped up by Tass, that's easy to deal with. And Group B really hasn't been spectator-friendly. Like we've talked about, obviously, there's more going on than meets the eye. There's integral kind of tactical battles in the middle of the park that are just as important as scoring. However, you know, for the neutral, you want a little bit more action. And I think when these guys come out into the knockout round, they're going to have a bit of a wake-up call facing someone like Spencer, because it doesn't matter how well they defend, they will concede.
Absolutely. I mean, with the setups these guys have got on defence, it looks like it's very difficult to actually be able to break it down, and that might actually play in their favour going into the later rounds, as some of the other players might make a mistake. I mean, like, obviously one of these players is going to have to play Spencer going into the next round, and if Spencer's leaking goals and someone like Tass puts up a performance like this where they basically just don't concede goals, you could expect Spencer to make a mistake, and actually someone like Tass could actually get in behind him and score a goal, whether it was a good opportunity or not. He'd be able to put one away eventually, and lovely passes go there.
Oh, that is the difference. Right there, that is what Ronaldo does. I don't think there's another striker in the game, apart from maybe Messi or Pele, that would make that. They wouldn't get there.
Possibly Ibra.
Possibly who?
Possibly Ibra.
Maybe. I don't think he's got the pace, though.
Oh, yeah, in that respect,
the pace to get on that, yeah. But it's just the fact that they just get on the end of them. That's massive, and we talked about this. Tass needs the first goal, and he's got that. Now we can use his experience,
in a comfortable situation now,
his possession play, to just see this game out. It's a long way off, of course, and hopefully it doesn't just finish like this, but going in the lead for Tass is very important. And if he is to come up against Spencer, he's going to have to do the same. Try and take the lead early on and just, you know, ride it out.
He's literally like the puppet master now. He has the control of the game, and he's going to make Guigsey dance to his beat, and it's whether Guigsey gets sucked into it or not. Obviously, he's got his coach Graham in the booth with him, just helping out. Coach player, he's obviously going to be playing in a little while in his group stage games. Now, it's just about keeping a cool head now, not getting too over the top by it. It's only one goal, and it's an unfortunate one at that. Great execution from Tass nonetheless, so let's see how Guigsey answers back to this. He's got to maintain a cool head, but right now Tass just having complete dominance on the park. Vieira on the ball, looking to find a way inside. It's not going to work though. Guigsey opting to play with just that one striker up front. Could see a potential change of formation in this on the first leg. Not exactly the most common thing to change something so drastically like that. Still got an entire game to play afterwards, but I think if things start to go badly in his favour, he's going to have to make a change.
Anua on the ball here for Tass. Just going to take his time in possession now. There's no rush for him. Kadira needs to get that back, and he does. And he's a strong defender, a midfielder, sorry, in there. He's able to keep the ball under pressure. Chance for Ronaldo. It's dealt with. Okay by Guigsey. If you're Guigsey, really, you want to try and get this goal as soon as possible. You don't want to ride it out. You don't want another situation where you're waiting, you know, 90-odd minutes for a goal.
I mean, he's in no hurry. He's still got 3 halves of FIFA to play before he needs to start.
It's just the way Tass plays, though. Like, the chances are, if you don't get a goal soon, he'll ride out possession and hit you on the break, like he could do here.
Tass can now afford to take a gamble on something. He can go out to the wing and start playing a couple crosses in. He's not desperate to score. He's already still in the lead, so it's up to Guigsey to do it. Guigsey, having not enough of the possession, doesn't have any chances on his board either. Playing a bit more of a defensive formation as well, playing 2 CDMs in that 4-4-2. Not exactly the most common formation we tend to see on FIFA these days.
Not at all.
I haven't played 4-4-2 since about FIFA 12.
Sturridge out on the right as well. Neither of his front men being actual strikers in terms of their position on their player items. But it's working for Tass right now. Guigsey needs to find something. I guess what I mean when I say that Guigsey needs to score soon is that I feel it's a lot easier to score against Tass when he's not winning. So if he's going to turn this around and win the match, he needs to get a goal to then have a chance of getting another one, because then Tass will open up. And that's when he can strike again.
I think it'll frustrate Tass as well. I think he'll get a bit frustrated, maybe get suckered into being a bit more aggressive, thinking, hold on a minute, I should definitely be winning this one. And Guigsey, as I said before, he just needs to keep a cool head, keep control of what he's doing. I'm not too sure what these guys are doing in the booth right now. There's possibly a dispute about the player names and stuff like that.
Not happy with the player indicator on the visual. I mean, it shows you just how deep, you know, how many different facets of FIFA have to be right for these guys to feel happy. You know, obviously we talked about weather. They don't like playing in the rain, snow, etc. But there's a lot of different elements here. And we are underway in the second half. David Luiz is on for Kadira for Tass, and Robin's come on for Cuadrado for Guigsey. Still 1-0 to Tass. That's a good ball cut out. Guigsey needs a shot. He didn't have a shot in that first half, and that's a problem.
Really does need to get something a bit more aggressive working for him. He's been a bit tamed as well. I know Guigsey's one of those kind of guys who does like to get up in your face and score a handful of goals and really put the hurt to him, but right now he's struggling to do that. Vieira managed to find past Ronaldo. Ronaldo with the strike. 2-0 now, and Guigsey is not happy about that one. He's really, really upset with how that's going. He was playing a good degree of football, and right now 2-0 down against Tass, and Tass is loving life. He's loving it. He's in a driver's seat. Guigsey probably going to start panicking a little bit.
Guigsey actually looks like he's taken that one personally. He really does not look happy in there. He's looking up to Graham for a little bit of advice, but I don't know what Graham can tell him. He hasn't had a, you know, first piece of advice would be to have a shot. You know, he's going to help.
Not had one yet.
You know, this is what we're talking about with Tass. When he gets the first goal, he looks a different player. And I don't think, you know, as much as I don't think he's the best player in the tournament, he might be the best person to beat Huge Gorilla. That's the thing. It's all about matchups. It's all about style of play. And I think Huge Gorilla will be very frustrated to see he might have to play Tass in this next round, despite him being the runner-up in the group.
Well, that's exactly it. It's the reason why we have so many... Oh, interesting free kick. Doesn't work out. But yeah, that's why we have so many different winners. We've had a different champion on all 3 tournaments. We haven't had a consistent champion. We've had people who've won more than one tournament before in the FIFA, but never the same champion over and over again. I think that's a testament to the fact that matchups are very key. We've obviously heard about how some players prefer playing others because they play to a play style that they prefer playing to. There are others who they don't want to play to because they don't suit a certain style of play that they play. And overall, it's just difficult to play against, as Tass actually going to be found offside there, looking to make it 3-0. Not going to happen. So Guigsey probably going through his head right now, what can I do to change this? I need to make a change, at least going into the second leg, because right now I'm 2-0 down, and against Tass, who's put up such a great defensive display, like he's literally had no shots. He's had no opportunity to get anything close. Apart from a free kick, he's had no real opportunities to do something. So he needs to make something work for him. He needs to make a change, and it will most likely be a formation change that he really needs to change.
Yeah, he's only got half an hour of this game left. So he needs to up it. But obviously he's got another leg. So it was time to score, but like I say, the more goals, the more time Tass has the lead for, the harder it's going to get, because he is a possession player. We see him on the ball here, absolutely bossing things. He's got those legends in there to just secure him possession and secure, you know, the progression for the next round. Because in case you've just joined us, the situation is this is the final game in Group B. It's effectively a knockout game. The winner of the game will finish in second place in the group and take on the winner of Group A, which is Huge Gorilla, our Season 1 champion. The loser will be going home. And right now, it looks like that's going to be Guigsey from Scotland, who is 2-0 down to Tass, our British player. Here's Di Maria on the ball for Guigsey in the Celtic strip. Needs to make something happen soon, just to help him get back in this.
Tass on the ball with Ronaldo, moving forward. Walker running down that wing, probably going to try and look for a cross. He's actually going to cut back towards his own goal. We actually saw a graphic during the break from our lovely production team. It's a nice little quote from Tass, a bit of advice when it comes to running down the wing, whether the cross or cut it back towards your goal. And this time he's actually going to swap for the cross. Courtois claims that one.
70 minutes, so 20 minutes left of the first leg. 2-0 to Tass. Can Guigsey make a breakthrough? Di Maria on the ball. He hasn't really looked like scoring at any point in this game. He's only had that free kick. He's not really got into the box. You know, he's just not creating things. I don't know what's missing for him. Like Chris was mentioning, maybe a formational change could be at hand for the second leg. But the most important thing is he doesn't concede a third.
Just needs to slow it down a little bit and play a bit more possession football. I mean, he's just running at some of these passes. They're really woeful. Like, that pass was really, really bad. He just needs to slow things down, look for a bit of time on the ball, because when he's going forward, he's got no numbers forward. He's got nothing really working for him. He can't make an opportunity. He can't expect to counter-attack someone who is sitting so deep. Like, Tass is sat really deep when it comes to defense, so he's got to be very, very consistent about how he moves forward, and he needs to pick his moments, because right now he's just kind of trying to latch onto something that doesn't exist.
Here's Tass, so he's not kept hold of the ball though. Could this be a chance for Guigsey? I tried to see that. For me, that was like a Hail Mary through ball. He's just trying, like, he's not patient in the build up there. He's rushing. He's 2-0 down, so he's feeling probably questioning himself a little bit, and I think he won't be happy with the way he's giving away possession here. He's just rushing. He's trying to get to those strikers straight away rather than waiting for the best opportunity to do so. And every time he does that, Tass gets the ball and holds on to it probably for another 5-6 minutes FIFA time. Here's Griezmann. It's going to be a throw-in for Tass. So what is everyone saying in the Twitch chat? Who are you supporting? Is Tass going to hold on to this? And if he does go through to play Huge Gorilla, who will win that game? Huge Gorilla or Tass? Let me know in the chat. Shout out to A. Shinky, who is enjoying the action. Here's Tass on the ball. Can he whip it into Ronaldo for the header? No. 5 minutes left of the first leg.
Looks like Tass just, again, controlling the game. It's a shame that he couldn't get a couple more goals. His goals have come from good passing execution. We'd like to see him be able to do that in the next couple of games. Right now, I think if I was Tass going into this next one and I was maintaining a 2-0 lead, I'd probably be looking to... Well, I suppose it's a bit of a... It's how you feel if you're comfortable in the lead. Like, he could potentially try and switch up his play a little bit and try and practice some other things just for the competition going up against, because I still feel that if he's in a situation where he needs goals, I don't think he's going to fully be able to pick them out. So it could be a good opportunity for him to practice against with this cushion, see if he can practice a different play style, maybe get a couple more goals and see if it works for him.
Ball in, it could be a 3. No, it's a good save from Courtois. And it's going to finish 2-0, I think, in this first leg. 60% possession for Tass. It's kind of the minimum you'd expect from him in a game like this. That's a nice ball. Could it be 3? He's the turn. He's hit it the first time!
My!
I think it's offside. That's a shame, because that probably would have been the goal of the tournament so far.
Wow, that was such a nice finish. I
What
really
a volley.
didn't expect him to put it in there.
I didn't even think that was offside, personally. It was tight.
It was very, very tight.
But anyway, that's a nice finish there from Tass. It didn't count, but still gives him a bit more confidence. Getting a little bit of advice there, Guigsey, from Graham. Obviously, just wondering what he can do to change things, because he will not be happy with what's happened there. And he's got 90 minutes to turn things around. Now, we've seen some spectacular comebacks in the Play Like a Legend tournaments. 2 goals, we've seen a lot more than 2 goals overturned. So Guigsey definitely can get back in it. But what does he have to do?
He's just got to get hold of the ball a little bit more. His possession play's been a bit poor. His passing's not been the best in the final third. And right now, just slow the game down a little bit. Play the way you want to play. You know, make Tass try and work for the ball and wait for the opportunity. Because to me, it looks like when Tass is playing, he's standing off a little bit. He's actually giving him the time to play the ball around if he wants to. But he's not really taking it. He's not taking full swing of the possession and time he's gotten. So just hold on the ball, see if a pass comes up across it. If not, maybe you go for a long-range shot. Maybe you just hold on the ball a little bit longer and play your style. I mean, you still got a whole game. You could easily get those 2 goals back. I mean, Tass's goals came from 2 really quick opportunities. There's no reason why Guigsey can't do the same back.
Exactly. So, and Tass, meanwhile, do you think he will have one eye or one thought now to the next game against Spencer? Do you think he's going to remain professional and see this game out first?
I think he's more thinking about this. I don't think he looked very comfortable in that game, but I think that's purely because Guigsey he carried on playing his style through that first leg. And I think in this second leg, Guigsey's going to come out with something a little bit different. He's probably going to play a different style, maybe have a couple of new players in there. So I think Tass is not... He's mentally not quite in the next round yet. He's still focused on this game because it's not over yet.
And do you think Huge Gorilla, who'll be down there watching it, I'm sure, will have a preference as to who he does play in the next round of these 2 guys?
He's probably hoping to go against Guigsey. He's probably, as they are teammates, he probably plays him a lot, probably knows exactly how he's going to play and what he's capable of and what makes him tick. All that kind of stuff. That's the kind of things you learn. It's interesting when you see Tass and Ty go up against each other. It's the same thing, really. They both know how each other plays, and it's always a tight affair. Last time we saw them play, it was a very scrappy. Well, I say it's scrappy. It was more of just a really straightforward defensive display, and then Ty managed to get 2 fortunate goals on his favour, and he managed to win the game. So they're always tightly contested games when you know the player on a very personal level. So we'll have to see how Guigsey approaches this next game. If he doesn't switch things up, I'd be very surprised, and he's also putting himself in a bad position if he doesn't.
He doesn't look happy in there at all. I don't think he's enjoying today's event so far. Doesn't feel like he's playing his best FIFA probably, but just needs to remember 90 minutes. He can turn it all round. If he now turns this round from being 2-0 down to say 3-2 up, he's going to feel so positive going into that quarter final. And it is possible. Based on that first leg performance, you'd say he didn't have enough chances. If he can create those chances, then he can do it. But I think the clever money would be on Tass to keep his lead and go through. Yeah, and then while we're here, we should probably have a little bit of a look ahead to Group C and D, because this will be the last game in Group B. We'll know everyone that's gone through from that half of the bracket. Group C and D is still very much an unknown entity, and Group C is being kind of heralded as that group of death, if you like. You've got Emmy Boost, Season 3 champion. You've got August Rosenmeyer, who is a
stacked lineup.
He's basically you can see it on the screen now, actually. August Rosenmeyer is going to be starting off against Epsilon Rocky. Now, if you're not familiar with him, he's a Danish player who is a former world champion and national champion, making his competitive Ultimate Team debut, but is hotly tipped to take it by storm. Emmy Boost is a champion. This is the Group D, actually, on the screen right now. So you've got Ty Walton, who's our seeded player. The only seeded player not to have been a former Play Like a Legend champion, because we only had 3 of them. But he was someone that played very well and is well known on the scene. He's going to be taking on K Vega in his first game. And then Graham, who actually is in the booth right now alongside Guigsey as a Scottish friend and teammate. He's going to be playing German Dr. Ihano. So, and again, Dr. Ihano, Graham, and Ty Walton, we know are all good players. We don't know as much about K Vega, but could also be decent. So Group D is really a tough group as well, you have to say.
They're all tough groups along the way. I mean, there's no group to me that has actually been easy during this entire thing. As we've seen, the first one before had a great lineup in it. This one, obviously, the games have been extremely close throughout.
Yeah.
So it's no way to say that anyone's had an easy ride through this entire competition. And as you said, Aga Rosenmeyer, FIWC 2014 champion, was the king of FIFA 14, but it's a question of how is that transition to FIFA 15 and how is that transition to Ultimate Team? Has he got the same capability in his locker? I mean, Ty Walton, another guy who back in FIFA 14 and FIFAs before that, a great player, but has struggled in this game throughout, and he's admitted that he's had to change his play style, and a lot
he did get to a final though.
A lot of the top players have actually fallen off, and he has gone away and adapted his gameplay, and he's beaten someone like Tass, so he's definitely in one of the favourites to win. He's actually my dark horse to win this entire thing. So someone like him, he could come out and pull off an upset, and it could be an interesting turn of events.
It'll be interesting to see if he's still using that 5 at the back formation, which I know was kind of his USP in the tournament. He got to the final of Season 2 where he narrowly lost to Brian. But yeah, no doubt that he's a good player. But we're going to stick with Group B for now. It's about to be wrapped up. This is the final game, the second leg. Currently 2-0 to Tass. And Guigsey in the Celtic strip needs to have a really strong 90 minutes if he's going to come back in this. Otherwise, we will be saying goodbye to him. But it's Tass on the ball now. If he was to go out early and get a third goal, it would pretty much wrap things up. But he can't get on the end of that corner, that cross, sorry. And, OK, let's have a look in the chat. Let's see what everyone's saying. Everyone, are you team Tass or are you team Guigsey? Scotland or England? XS91 has asked if Marlott or Dr. Ohano are still in the tournament. Yes, Marlott has gone through. He's going to be playing Brian in the next round in the quarterfinal, and Dr. Ohano is yet to play, so he's still very much in the tournament. Yes, he is.
Interesting to see that it's started out pretty much the same way it ended last game. Tass in control of the ball. Guigsey just looking to fight back and wait for the ball. And right now he just needs to play a patient game. Doesn't have to go all-out tilt mode right now. He needs to just play a bit towards his game and wait for the opportunity to strike. And right now he's just giving Tass the respect that he deserves, and maybe a bit too much room as Tass is starting to heat it up a little bit. Some quick passes, unfortunately, he doesn't make anything of it. Guigsey does clean that one up, and he's going to start breaking. Maybe he needs to slow this one down a bit. He hasn't got the numbers in his favour, but he is going to pelt down this right wing and look possibly for a cross. He's trying to cut inside, but no, it's not going to happen. And the ball is going to be pushed out as Ramirez has actually picked up this ball. He plays it towards Balassi. Balassi goes down.
Could have been.
No, it's not going to be a penalty, though. He picks the ball up in return anyway. Sturridge on the ball looking for a pass. Goes for the shot. It's deflected out, though.
Wow. And that was lively. One thing I say about Guigsey, though, that fake shot turn, he tends to do it almost every time. And I think Tass is quite adept to kind of seeing patterns in someone's play and just, you know, reading them like a book, basically. And I feel like unless Guigsey needs to change it up once or twice, keep using it to an extent, almost make your opponent think there's a pattern there, and then actually subvert it. Because I think then he might have a chance. Because he's got numbers here. He's got numbers. Hit it first time. It's a goal. That is big. Look at Graham saying to Guigsey, we're Scottish, we're brothers, they will never take our freedom. Well, maybe they won't.
Bayern, Iron Brew after this.
Yeah. Maybe they won't, guys, because it is 2-1, and he only needs one more goal to level it up, and Tass will not be happy with the way this game has started. It's been all Guigsey. Wow.
Well played by Guigsey. He did get fortunate to receive the ball back and get as many chances as he did, but boy, did he capitalise on it. But Tass on the counter-attack one more time. Ronaldo plays it off to Khedira. Khedira tips. It's all over the place. What's going on?
What was that?
What is he doing?
Did he mean to dink now?
That reminds me of all my heartaches on FIFA where you've accidentally held the chip button when you've gone to shoot. Every single person that has ever played FIFA has done that.
Man, that's got to hurt. Kyle J69, how are you? Thank you for tuning in on the Twitch chat, Gfinity, sorry, twitch.tv/Gfinity TV for all your live stream needs. Okay, currently 1-0 in this game, 2-1 on aggregate to Tass, who's in the red. Guigsey, who's chasing the game in the Celtic strip.
Let's see how Guigsey gets forward with this goal in his favour now. Only one goal separating the two. We're getting back up to level scoring. If Guigsey can get one more, it's surely going to give him the confidence and motivation to move forward. He just needs to keep a cool head, keep the possession going. He's done a good job so far. Right now, just slow the game down, keep it going. I think if he really does tend to slow it down, make sure his numbers get up the pitch, and then he can really make something happen here. But right now, it looks like he's trying to force a situation, and against someone like Tass, you can't force a situation. You've got to let the situation just play out and tactically devise what you're going to do, especially when he's given him actually so much room and so much time to do something, that maybe that's what Guigsey really needs to take capitalizing on. It's just, he's not doing too much of that right now.
Sonic108 asked who my favourite to win is, and it's well documented. I've been going with Huge Gorilla, who smashed in Group A. He's going to be playing the winner of this game, actually. It looks like that could be Tass, but Guigsey's not quite stopped trying yet, and he's still got a chance to get back in it. Yeah, we had a few predictions in the previous show. I went with Huge Gorilla. Dave, who's will be back on commentating soon, he went with August Rosemeyer, who hasn't actually played Ultimate Team competitively yet, but I know that he's aware of what he can do, and he obviously backs him. And Brack, our French kind of opposite number, he went with Brian, who's also gone through Group B winner. So obviously if August does win Group C as well, our three predictions would have all won their group, which will be an interesting sign. You went with Huge Gorilla as well, right, Chris?
I did.
Yeah. So he's one of the most backed players for sure.
He's played such a good style of gameplay. His defense could probably do a bit more focus, but when you're outscoring your opponent, you don't really need to focus too much on your defense. And it seems like Tass is having the opposite problem, and the worst of the two problems. He's not conceding much, but he just can't seem to score at the moment. And it's the same for Brian, so it'll be interesting to see how a matchup like that would play out tomorrow.
Nearly half-time in this second leg. Tass was 65% of the possession, which is what you'd expect from him. However, he is 1-0 down, and he doesn't like going behind. We talked about this before. When he goes up, like he did in the first leg, he wins the games more often than not. When he goes behind, he tends to not win the games.
Mentality-wise, still up 2-1 on aggregate. Sure, he's not going to be too worried about this. Definitely can't take his foot off the pedal, but as I said, he hasn't changed his game style at all. He's keeping to what he knows best, and it's doing okay for him so far. Guigsey still looking like he's trying to force the issue, and these quick passes, once again, are just not coming off for him. You need to slow the game down a little bit. Stop getting too over-eager and overzealous, and just wait for the opportunity to come to you. And it will come, you just have to believe in the heart of the cards, the Ultimate Team cards. That was really cheesy.
It was nice though, I liked it.
You like that?
Bale on the throw-in here for Tass, about to be half-time in this second leg. He's taking this, it's not time wasting already, surely. He's giving it to Griezmann. Griezmann inside to Ronaldo. Can he turn and get a shot? Oh, he might do. That's a great tackle.
What a challenge.
Mangala, that's a big, big tackle in this game. Do not underestimate the importance of that challenge. Okay, so just one goal in it now. I think Guigsey's already had more shots this game than he did last game. He's only halfway through it. We can see a change, though, from Tass, bringing on David Luiz again in that CDM spot. He does like him there. It's an interesting one. We're seeing Tass's bench there. He's got a packed-out bench with proper players, unlike some of the other people we saw. Huge Gorilla having 4 bronze cards on there as a result, bringing down the overall rating of his squad, but giving him less options when it comes to subs, whereas Tass has got a number of options there, obviously.
Yeah, I think possibly bringing on Yaya Toure might be a better opportunity for him. It'd give him a little bit more moving forward as well. At least in the central defensive midfield, even if you play with David Luiz. I mean, David Luiz, he is one of those players that he is great defensively, but he does have that tendency to get sucked up to the other end of the field, whereas Yaya Toure, he is box to box. He will go up, but he will also get back just as much as he gets forward. So could be one that he's happy to go with, could be one that he later regrets. We'll have to see what happens here, but obviously I didn't see him actually make any tactical changes to the way he wants his players to play, so he's hoping David Luiz will fit in the spot that Sami Khedira just had. So we'll see how that works out for Tass, but right now he's definitely sniffing out a goal. He definitely wants one more, and I think there's definitely another goal in this. It depends on who it's going to go in the favour of.
Will Chan is saying that he is Team Tass all the way. Oh! So we've got a number of different supporters for both people in the chat. But Guigsey, he just needs one more goal. And definitely, I wouldn't have said he was going to get it before he got that first goal. But now, since then, he's livened up a little bit. And when Tass is behind, he's easier to play against. And technically, he's not behind an aggregate. But in this game, he is. Oh, he fell over. His player could have got that as well.
Tass moving forward now. Still just happy to control the game as much as he wants. Still think Guigsey should take it down a peg and slow the game down. Right now, he's not. Something tells me West Ham have just scored by your reaction in your fist pump.
It's the opposite, unfortunately. But let's keep our eyes on the prize. Okay.
See, that to me that looked like a fist pump of celebration.
No, it was a punch of the air in anger.
Yeah, most people don't do that. They're like, yeah, fist pump the air, as in celebration.
Anyway, here's Sturridge on the ball for Guigsey. He needs one goal. He's got half an hour left. Rips it in. Heads it. Oh, that would be massive. That would have been massive. Cyprus Loves Fatstro has asked me, Spencer, Neuer or Courtois? And I would have to, and I'm guessing you mean in FIFA. In real life, I think it's definitely Neuer. I think in FIFA it's actually Courtois.
Yeah.
Not on my team. I feel like Neuer, despite being 90 rated keeper, he has a lot of mares in him. Makes a lot of mistakes.
Are you basing it, so is your choice based on value for money, maybe, or the rating, or are you basing it based on...
They're both two of the more expensive.
You genuinely think he's better?
I think in this game, Courtois plays better, yeah. If they were the same price, I'd go Courtois. Obviously, chemistry you've got to think about. If you've got a Bundesliga squad, you're not going to go Courtois.
Do you think Neuer maybe... He's so good in real life because of... he is a sweeper keeper, and do you think that maybe because he does, it's hard to replicate that kind of decision making?
There's a lot of
that maybe his rating is higher than it should, than it would actually perform in the game of FIFA.
I mean, there's a lot of players like that, isn't there? Likes of Iniesta, Xavi, who've got great ratings, David Silva, who are very good in real life, but they can't really translate it. For a long time, Messi didn't play the way you'd like him to, and still now we're seeing people use Ronaldo over him, when in real life most people would pick Messi, I think. So it's interesting that they can't, certain skills can't really come through.
Yeah, it's hard to translate something.
Each iteration of FIFA is different. Sometimes there'll be the next FIFA is passing is a lot more important in the middle of the park. So maybe someone of Iniesta's skill will show forth a little bit more and come forward. But I think in this current game, Neuer, the keepers have been well documented. There's a lot of mistakes in them. It's more of a personal thing, and it's probably more down to who's made more individual errors for me personally.
Yeah.
But I've had a few instances with Neuer that have been quite frustrating, so I would go with Courtois. And he's a Belgian, and I love a Belgian.
Well, they are the future, aren't they? They're just like cyborgs.
It's like a stock. You need to invest in Belgium.
Yeah.
If you're a business and you've got
you're
employees,
getting in there early.
Belgium
get Belgians
in, regardless of what your business is. Just get Belgians in. It will help in the long term. If you've run a nursery, get some Belgian teachers.
Still waiting for some Belgians at West Ham, aren't you?
I know, that's the problem. That's the problem. That's why we're 2-0 down to Bournemouth.
They'd solve your problems. You're 2-0 down to Bournemouth.
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
Good Lord.
Embarrassing.
Oh, that means I'm going to probably lose my Super 6. I think I put West Ham to win that one.
Yeah.
I think I put 3-0 or something like that.
Most people did. I put 3-1. Anyway, corner for Tass. So we've got 15 minutes left. As things stand, he is going through and he'll be playing Huge Gorilla. But after the first leg, 2-0 up, he was probably feeling quite confident that he could do a job on Huge Gorilla. If he actually goes through but loses this second leg, is that going to take a little bit of the wind out of his sails?
Yeah, I don't know. At the end of the day, I think these guys are just thinking about the overall victory. If they get through, it's not really going to matter how they could win 10-0 in the first game and lose the next one like 9-0. I don't think it would really matter as long as the result was still in their favour and they managed to get through in the end. It's just about the W at the end of the day. So I think they're probably just concerned with what happens as we see that Tass, he's still very much focused on this game. There is still 15 minutes left in it, and a goal can come from anything right now, and I still suspect a goal could come out of this for either sides. Whether it's going to be Guigsey or Tass is up for them to decide. And right now, Tass in possession of the ball, but Guigsey doing a good job. He's had a much better defensive display, Guigsey, this leg. It's good to see. He is playing at home right now. Whether that plays a factor or not, I don't know, but the home crowd certainly getting behind him.
If Barbo is on the pitch, that could play a factor. This guy's got pace to burn. He's not necessarily the best finisher. If you get him through on goal, which you can do with that pace, especially when coming off the bench, so the defenders around him are more tired than they would be. he could cause some damages, but he's got to create the chances for Ibarbo to finish, and that's something that has been hard to come by for Guigsey, to be fair.
You know that song, like when Ibarbo comes on the pitch, for me, this song starts playing in my head, it goes...
Ride of the Valkyries.
That's the one. That's what it's like, the fear of Ibarbo coming on, because you know Ibarbo's going to score. He's Ibarbo. He does what he wants. He's a machine.
But will he score for Guigsey, or will Tass get another one? But Lassie! Oh, taken out there, double teamed. But managed to managed to not give away a penalty, I should say, Guigsey. Now he's got the ball with Robin. This guy's got Robin up top. He's got Ibarbo. He's got pace. He's just not creating the opportunities, and he's got 5 minutes to make one now.
Right. Guigsey just needs to go ultra attacking. Ultra attacking, everyone up front, give it to Ibarbo and let Ibarbo do his thing. Ibarbo, it's basically like autopilot mode. You just send Ibarbo with the ball and he literally tanks people out of the way and says, get out of the way, I'm going to score.
A. Shinky wants me to shout out Australia. There you go. Australia, hope you're well.
What time is it over there?
Just a
it's
few
got to be
minutes.
evening time now.
I think it'll be like, I don't know actually, 3 AM or something, I don't know.
Wow, dedication.
Here is Guigsey. He's got a few minutes left. It kind of has to be now. He's got the ball with Ibarbo. Goes to Sturridge. He's got so much pace on the pitch in different areas. But Lassie, Sturridge, Robin and Ibarbo. But he just can't hold on to the ball. And I think Tass is going to see this game out. And despite losing the second leg, will book himself a place in the knockout round, which isn't something we've said every time with Tass. He's not always got out of the group. But he will be playing Huge Gorilla, who's a lot of people's favourite. So it's by no means easy sailing for Tass. But his first job is getting out of the group, isn't it? That's the first most important thing to do.
Absolutely. I mean, tomorrow is a big day. Knockout stages, there's no room for errors there. Even in this group format, you don't get the most amount of chances. You've got effectively 2 lives, and if you throw them away, you won't get another chance at getting through. So every game counts in that respect, as Tass just trying to hold it in the corner as much as he possibly can. And I believe that's it. And
done.
Unfortunately,
dusted.
Guigsey's going to fall to Tass, and Tass is going to go through to face Spencer, a Huge Gorilla, tomorrow. That is going to be a matchup.
That is big. That's the poison chalice of success there for Tass. He is going to have to face someone who scores goals for fun, scores goals in his sleep, you might say. But Tass, many people have said, could be the man to beat him. He could be the man with the kind of right gaming style.
He looks a bit drained there, sorry to cut
He looks kind of knackered from that mentally.
I think over those 2 games, well, the 3 games, it's definitely taken a lot out of him. He's definitely a bit emotionally and mentally drained. I think tomorrow's a big day as well. He needs a good night's sleep, because tomorrow he's got to go at it again against some fierce competition. Yeah,
Huge Gorilla is who is waiting for him. And obviously we should say a few words for Guigsey. You know, he did get a win, beating the other person in this group, Epsilon Anthox, of course. 3 goals he got against him. 3-1, I think, was the score. But ultimately, after that 2-1 defeat to Tass, which is narrow, but it's still a defeat, he is going to be leaving the tournament. So shout out to Guigsey. Well done and good effort. We'll see you again soon, I'm sure. But Tass is through in 2nd place from Group B. Brian has won Group B. So we know our first 2 quarterfinals now. The first of which is going to be is obviously Tass versus Huge Gorilla. So it's winner of Group A, Huge Gorilla, taking on Tass. And the runner-up of Group A, which is Marlot from Germany, taking on the Frenchman Brian. So who do you think is going to win those 2 quarterfinals, Chris?
I've got to go with Spencer for the first one. I mean, Spencer, defensively, he hasn't looked amazing right now, but he is scoring a ton of goals. 12 goals in 2 games. Admittedly, he has conceded 6 in 2 games, but overall, I think he's just going to be a lot more of a handful for Tass. I think today, Tass has almost had it easy in the sense of his opponents when it comes to attacking. They haven't been the best. They've been a bit lackluster. Obviously, Brian out of practice. We've had Tass, who's not really had the most full-firing opportunities when it comes to attacking. Guigsey, again, is just... It wasn't up to the scratch that Brian and Tass were. So I honestly think it's going to be a Spencer one there. But and then we come to Brian and Marna. And I think Marna obviously struggled against someone like Spencer. I think that defensively, Brian is just too solid at the moment, whether he's playing at his best or not. Defensively, he's got it all summed up, and I don't think Marlot is going to have the best of times. It looked like he struggled against Spencer, who, although not defensively great, definitely put up a show against Marlott, and I think Marlott might struggle because Marlott looks comfortable when he's taking control of the game and he's able to play aggressive FIFA, and I don't think he's going to be able to do that against Brian.
And I guess the best way to look at it, we talked about the difference between Brian and Spencer, which is the goal difference. Spencer's scoring a lot more goals, conceding many. Brian hasn't conceded any, but he's not scored as many. So basically, over 2 games, Spencer is +6 and Brian is +3.
Yeah.
That's the best way to look at it. So Spencer, you'd say, they're not playing each other. So they're going to potentially meet in the round after that, we'll see. Right now, though, we do know that Spencer, Brian, Marlott and Tass are all through. And Tass is now with Martin, who's going to ask him a few questions about that victory.
Nice one, Spence. Thanks very much. Tass, well done, mate. Sneaking through to the Sunday. You must be happy with that?
Well, after losing to Brian, yeah, my head was in 2 places. I was sort of disappointed. I mean, I can't say I should have beat Brian, but I was just came off. I lost to him last time in my 2nd game as well, so I was like, oh, is the past gonna replicate and lose my 3rd? But I think I played really well in the 1st game, and then he done a really good through ball, and after that I was kind of nervy, to be honest.
Talking about nervy, the sort of latter stages of the game against Guigsey just then looked a little bit tense. How was it inside the booth?
I think at half time, what saved me was the first half he was dictating me, actually, and I was giving it away. But I think at half time, taking Kadir off and bringing David Luiz in, he shored it up a bit, I thought, in the 2nd half. And then I was trying to get another goal, but I knew it wasn't coming, so I just had to hold off. And luckily enough, I scraped through. Good
stuff. So through to the Sunday, and you know now that you're going to be facing Spencer in your quarter-final. What's the plan of attack? I mean, these goals. A lot of the sort of pundits, so Spencer, Dave, and Chris, think you actually might be the man to beat him. How do you feel about that?
I think you need a certain play style to beat him, and I think replicating what Ty Walton did at the last one, which is just keep the ball off him and minimize his opportunities. And my play style's like his, so I'm hoping I can replicate his result.
Good stuff, mate. Thanks very much. You can relax now, can't you? Maybe have a Nando's or something. That's the done thing round here, anyway. So Tass is through to the Sunday. He will face Spencer, and he's up for it. It should be an absolutely cracking match. But we'll be back after this very short break with more absolutely superb Play Like a Legend action.
Somehow falls to his feet. I don't even understand how that was magically possible, but he's danced his way around.